Okay, I think research has it that a family environment is the best place for a child to grow in, because here they just don't survive, but they also thrive. Actually, for best outcomes, it's been believed that actually a family environment in that community is the best place for every child to grow in. So there are issues to do with child development, cognitively, social, cultural, emotional, even spiritually. You find that it happens better when these children are actually growing up in their families, unlike in institutions, because you won't see such things happening in institutions. I'll connect it to the first one where we're talking about why family-based care is compared to institutional care. In that, when you talk about aging out, this is where a situation where this child has overstayed in a child care facility, and they reach age of probably 18 when they're no longer children. Okay, 18, 19, 20, 21 years, and we can't keep them here. So we think of aging out, where they have to be assisted outside the community, outside the facility. They go into a community where you find maybe space for them to live in. But there's always a challenge to that, because many children or kids that have ended up aging out from facilities, they found it difficult to actually integrate in society, in that actually the effects, the negative effects of child care facilities has been too much on them because of the overstaying or the prolonged stay, in these institutions. So they can't really socialize. Their development somehow has been negatively affected in terms of cognitively. So they can't really, think the way the children that have grown up through the families are thinking, or how they are doing things, or even just how to relate with others. Is kind of difficult, because these are things that we don't really find, in child care facilities. So would rather a child doesn't even overstay in a facility to avoid the aging out issue. So before the child probably stays, let's say maybe 3 years, we should keep them not for more than 6 months, either integrate them or find other alternative means of helping, unlike where they overstay. Yeah, so reintegration is in itself a process. It's a long process. It takes us all the way to where we reunify the child, where the child is taken back to the biological family or maybe extended family system, even close friends to the family. But there's no guarantee that all these children will be taken back or will be integrated, with their biological families. There are some who come. I'll give you an example of a child that was dumped, in a pit latrine somewhere, in one of the compounds. You try to trace that family together with the child protection unit, and you don't find the family. So what happens to that child? It means there's no connection. So there are alternative ways of assisting such. This is where there is foster care, where a family that is well prepared, trained, and assessed would take up, the responsibility of taking care of this child, in short. And it's temporal, as we try, to find a permanent solution for the child. But if it fails, well, we don't locate anybody who may be connected to that child, there's a permanent solution, which is through adoption. So for a country like Zambia, we are more focused on domestic adoptions, which is local. And unless it fails, that's when we think of international adoptions. But all this has to be done in the best interest of the child. So nothing is done. If a child is of age where they can, make decisions, then they have to be involved where they would love to be adopted or not. There could be some also whereby there's a family, but the family is not able to take care of the child. So sometimes they'll consent for foster care, where a child can go into this family and is taken care of to provide education, access to medical facilities and the like, just for a certain period. But there are some also who consent for their children to be adopted. So that's where those children would go if reintegration fails. But we're also talking of emergency family-based foster care, where a child who is maybe dumped or lost, found in the streets by a good Samaritan, that child won't go into a child care facility because we're trying to avoid the negative effects. So that child will go directly to a family that is already assessed, approved, and also trained. Yeah, so that's just some of alternative care system that would use.